All right, so Dave, the first thing I think we need to talk about is why is proper engine temperature so important?
So important because you got a lot of moving parts in this engine, and they all work optimally at a specific engine temperature. And if you don't have it there, then you start damaging components, mainly piston to cylinder clearances. The engine needs to grow, the oil needs to get hot, so all those things can work efficiently.
So tell me, what temperature are we looking for right now?
We're looking for at a minimum 180 to 220 degrees before you could even get on and start riding.
Okay. And so at startup, this bike is actually doing what they call, it's dumping warm-up fuel into the engine. What's the difference in warm-up fuel and your regular idle circuit?
So the warm-up fuel is just allowing the engine to warm up a little bit quicker. It's seeing that the engine temperature is at a colder state, so it needs more fuel to run properly at idle.
Okay.
Once it gets up to proper temperature, that warm-up fuel goes away, and now you're running efficient and for the best fuel economy possible.
Well, this thing's heating up pretty fast. We're already up to 120 degrees at a minute and a half, so still got a little ways to go. The other thing I want to ask you about is, what is too hot for your motorcycle? I notice sometimes when you guys are tuning bikes in the dyno, you'll have to shut the bike off and let it cool down. What's considered too hot?
Too hot for tuning purposes would be around 260 plus.
Oh,
because at that point your fuel in your engine isn't working, as it should, as efficiently as it should. So we tend to cool them down so that we can properly tune them out.
and there's such thing as cooking the oil, right? If the oil gets too hot, it will burn the oil.
I wouldn't say too hot would burn the oil, but
Let's see where we're at.
if the oil got to a point where it was too hot, then there'd be a lot of other problems, I think,
Gotcha.
happening. Oil can withstand a lot of temperature. Even the Syn 3 these days, they have a viscosity of holding till maybe 300 degrees.
Oh wow. Okay.
So the Harley, Syn 3 is really good about that.
Well, we're now at 2.5 minutes, and we're at 150 degrees, so we're getting there. So during this time, while your motorcycle's warming up in the garage or driveway, what have you, it's a good time to get ready, get your riding gear on, your helmet, gloves, while it goes through this process. We're up to about 170 degrees at 3.5 minutes. We're getting there. Do you see a lot of guys come and jump on their bike and it's still full and they just take off and get into it real hard? Do you see that happen often?
It happens more often than you think. A lot of people are conscious of warming up their bike, but maybe the thrill of getting on their bike and riding takes over. But it's still very, very important to warm up your bike. And like I mentioned earlier, those moving components can suffer from the lack of, warming up your motorcycle.
Well, we're at 180 degrees right at 4 minutes. So a 4-minute mark, we would recommend, hey, that's good enough. You can go ahead and jump on the bike and go and take it out.
I would agree, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Up to 185 now. 4 minutes is really the benchmark. Now, that's on a Softail model. The touring bikes may take a little bit longer, but there you go. There you have it.